Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Martin Brothers Holiday Remembrance. My name is Jack Martin, and standing beside me here is my brother, Will Martin. We're so honored to have each and every one of you here tonight as we come together to pay tribute and reflect on the loved ones we have lost over the past year. Tonight's program aims to be a harmonious night wherein we might find solace and connection, where we may come together to honor the memories of the loved ones that have and continue to shape our lives.
The Christmas season is traditionally associated with joy, togetherness, and the warmth of family bonds. However, when someone dear is no longer present, the void left behind them often casts a shadow over these celebrations. We acknowledge that the holiday can be a challenging time, and our hearts are open to those who may be feeling the weight of loss during this season. As we continue on through this holiday season, I encourage all of you to please reach out and find support where and when you need it. There are resources here at Martin Brothers should you need it, and our staff would be honored to help guide any of you to an appropriate support when needed. As we begin with our program tonight, we once again thank you for attending this evening's event, and we hope that you might find comfort in tonight's musical selections and our message. Merry Christmas.
for me in the aftermath. Salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Every single thing I touch becomes sick with sadness, because it's all over now, all out to sea. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. What could have been, would have been you. Did some bird flap its wings over in Asia? Did some force take you because I didn't pray? Every single thing to come has turned into ashes, 'cause it's all over, it's not meant to be. So I'll say words I don't believe. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. What could have been, would have been, what should have been. Could have been, would have been you. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you.
Softly, I will leave you softly, for my heart would break if you should wake and see me go. So I leave you softly, long before you miss me, long before your arms can beg me stay for one more hour or one more day. After all the years, I can't bear the tears to fall so softly as I leave can't bear the tears to fall so softly as I leave you there, as I leave you there, as I leave you
Today could have been the day that you blow out your candles, make a wish as you close your eyes. Today could have been the day everybody was laughing. Instead I just sit here and cry. Who would you be? What would you look like when you looked at me for the very first time? Today could have been the next day of the rest of your life. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you. I'm always asking why this crazy world had to lose such a ray of light we never knew. Gone too soon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Would you have been president or a painter, an author who sang like your mother? One thing is evident, would have given all I had, would have loved you like no other. Who would you be? What would you look like? Would you have my smile in her eyes? Today could have been the next day of the rest of your life. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you. I'm always asking why this crazy world had to lose such a ray of light we never knew. Gone too soon, yeah, yeah, yeah. Not a day goes by. Always asking why. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you. Always asking why this crazy world had to lose such a beautiful life we never knew. Gone too soon. You were gone too soon. Yeah. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you.
My name is Bruce Martin, but I always say that I'm not actually related to the clan because I'm not. So although our last names are the same, We're not related. I was the minister at First Baptist Church here in Lethbridge for 23 and a half years, and I retired the end of August. So that's a little bit of context of who I am. So it was very moving to watch the faces and the names go by, because many of those people are friends and neighbors through this past 2.5 decades in my life as well. This year, this time of year is different for our family as well. In 2020, we had 7 of our immediate family for Christmas. Then subsequently 2 moved to Nova Scotia, so in 2021 we were down to 5. In 2022, another one moved to Nova Scotia. I don't know what that's all about, but then we were 4. And in February, my mother-in-law passed away, so now we're down to 3 for this Christmas. It's hard to get motivated to decorate. It's hard to get excited. My mother-in-law was part of our Christmases for 38 years, and so it's one of those times when we as a family as well are just struggling to think about how this year it seems so much colder and so much darker and so much emptier. I'm a Canadian. I was born in Dawson Creek. Do you know how long the nights are in Dawson Creek? Oh my goodness, at this time of year. But just so you know, today in Lethbridge, sunrise was at 8:19 in the morning and sunset was at 4:30, so we had 8 hours and 19 minutes of daylight today. That's depressing to me. However, as I was thinking about this, I did look at what it was like in Dawson Creek today, and they were down to 7 hours and change. So I thought, this isn't so bad. We all come tonight with our own unique experience of this past year or recent years, because we've all lost someone or something. The holidays are a time when we're often told and surrounded by messages of cheer and love and family connections, which are wonderful but can also be kind of painful reminders sometimes of where we're at in our own lives. I was reading an article that said, we're shown this ideal version of the holidays with partnered people and people with children and people with families and matching pajamas with gorgeous photos. Christmas letters are all about how perfect everyone else's family is and how wonderful their lives all are. And then we don't have that Norman Rockwell Christmas ourselves. It's good to come together and be honest that while there are many, many good things, even great things this year, things will be different too, because we all do share some sense of loss. If we've lost loved ones in the past 12 months, we all would love those loved ones to be with us. But it's cold and dark, and we're missing some of those people dear to us. And on those cold, dark winter nights, imagine a light shining in the darkness. We live on the west side, and when we go out our back door, it kind of opens out onto the coulee. And remember the night a couple of months ago when the aurora were supposed to be out? We went out about 10 o'clock at night, and they weren't out yet, but it was dark, really, really dark. And it's amazing how cold it feels when you're surrounded by dark. And then, just as we were about to give up, we saw some of the northern lights. And all of a sudden, nothing had really changed, but it just felt a whole lot warmer. It felt like there was hope, that there was this beautiful symphony going on in the sky. I'd seen the northern lights many times before, but my wife, from Nova Scotia of all places, had never seen them, and she was just mesmerized. And sometimes in the middle of the dark, when we see that light, everything begins to change a little bit. This is a time of year when we're honest about the cold and the dark and the loneliness, but it's also a time of year when we can celebrate that there is light in the darkness. I appreciate so much that the staff went to all this work of lighting a lot of candles. It's amazing how candle technology has changed, because from the back I kind of wondered if these were real candles. They're not, just so you know. But it's amazing. Can you imagine how dull it would be if there wasn't light, if there weren't the candles? But those little points of light bring hope and joy into the midst of the darkness. At this time of year, as in my background as a pastor of a church in town, we would talk about the context of that first Christmas several thousand years ago, when there was a time of cold and darkness, metaphorically speaking, and in the middle of the darkness of foreign occupation and brutal taxation and poverty and a seeming lack of hope or much to be joyful about, in the middle of that darkness, a small child, a baby, was born who brought light into the darkness. The prophet Isaiah talks about that the time of darkness and despair will not go on forever. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light, and for those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given. The government will rest on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And about the coming of Jesus, that first Christmas, the Apostle John writes, "There's light in the darkness. In the beginning, the Word already existed, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never overcome it." The one who is the true light, who gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. Of course, if you know the story of Christmas and how it moved forward, Christmas is about the birth of Jesus as a baby. But then as you read through the Gospels, you read how Jesus grew and taught, described himself as the light of the world. He said, "I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness, because you will have the light that leads to life." And as a dramatic object lesson of that, he heals a blind man and gives a person who had never seen light before the ability to see and to discover light and the world around him for himself. Jesus said, "Put your trust in the light, and you will become children of the light. I have come as a light to shine in this dark world, so that all who put their trust in me will no longer remain in the dark." And ultimately, if you follow the story through, you know that Jesus' life led to the ultimate darkness as he was crucified on the cross. But then, on the third day, Jesus rose from the dead at dawn, just as light was breaking on Easter Sunday. So the message for us is that, yes, darkness is very real in our world. God is very open and honest about the fact that there is still a lot of darkness in our world. But in the midst of that, Jesus comes as the light of the world, helping us find some light and hope in the midst of the darkness and a way through. Jesus said, "Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world. Don't be afraid. I am the first and the last. I am the living one. I died, but behold, I am alive forever and ever." And so as we gather today to remember our loved ones, we also look forward to being reunited with them once again and experiencing that light, that amazing light that triumphs over darkness. In the meantime, if your family is like ours, you're going through things like birthdays and anniversaries and Thanksgivings and Christmases, and it isn't the same. It is different. But in the midst of all of those experiences, there are still plenty of glimpses of light. And so as we've especially approached Christmas this year for the first time without my mother-in-law, who has been a real pillar in our lives, we've talked about how we will probably keep some of the things the same. We'll keep some of the traditions going. One of our traditions as a pastor, Christmas Eve is busy. Let's just put it that way. So one of our traditions has always been that on Christmas Eve for supper we would do KFC because it was just really easy. And so we had the conversation, do we do, since I'm now retired, do we still do KFC? Because that was always my mother-in-law's thing. And we kind of said, of course we will, because that's just what, not just my mother-in-law did, but it's what we do. And it's a way to keep her memory and that light shining in the darkness, which is really cool. Talk about some of those things as well. Talk about the people you love. Talk about the stories. Share pictures. Light a candle in their memory. Keep some of those same traditions the same, but there are also maybe things you want to change up. Our family, in terms of who's around at Christmas, is very different this year than it has been in the past. And so we will change some things up because we kind of have to. But it also gives us the freedom. One of my things at Christmas is I like to watch the Home Alone movies. No one else in my family likes to watch the Home Alone movies. But I have less people to fight with now. So anyway, whatever. But maybe you want to gather with friends or travel or do some of those other things that you've thought about doing, but it just hasn't worked, and that's okay. Do as much as you want to do. Don't feel pressured into doing all sorts of things. Some people are going to be really awkward. They won't know what to do with you, and they won't know how to talk to you. That's okay. Just take it for what it is and acknowledge the fact that we will have our good times and we will have our times when we melt down and we let our emotions go, and that's all good. Do whatever helps you feel good and process your feelings. And if grief strikes and you just have one of those moments when you just need to have a good cry or let out the emotions, that's okay too. Those things are healthy and good. But know that in the middle of your darkness, God's light is still shining. And so whether it's simply noticing that there's a street light outside your home or there's a night light down the hall, see those places where the light shines in the darkness and find encouragement and joy in them. Know that God is always with you, even when things seem dark. In Psalm 23, there's a verse that says, even though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, God goes with us. The actual Hebrew of that says, even though when we walk through the darkest valley, God goes with us. The translators traditionally have said, well, a dark valley, what's the darkest valley? The darkest valley must be the valley of death. So they've actually added words in English that aren't there in the original Hebrew. But I think David, who wrote that poem, was aware that really we all go through those dark, dark valleys. It can be death, it can be other things. But in the midst of that, God is always with us. He's always our light. May the light of God's hope, the light of God's peace, the light of God's love, and the light of God's joy shine in your darkness. And know that the darkness can never overcome it, because God is with you. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trudy Slump, and this is Laurie Penner. Together we lead the grief recovery program here at Martin Brothers. The holidays are fast approaching, a joyous time, a festive time, a time when families and friends celebrate Christmas and the passage of another year and the coming of a new year. But not everyone will feel like celebrating. If this is the first year since the death of a loved one, the grief and the holidays may be difficult. Since time does not heal emotional wounds, subsequent holiday times may be painful and awkward. Even surrounded by family and friends, grievers, such of all of us in this room, may feel isolated, may feel alone, and as if no one understands. The absence of our loved one or loved ones slices deep in so many ways amid the preparations, the decorations, the celebrations, and especially in the quiet moments alone. Naturally, during the holidays, and especially Christmas, we feel grief more accurately because our hearts long to love those no longer with us in the special ways that we enjoyed before. But instead, we face emptiness and sorrow, holding love with nowhere to go. Spending the holidays with family and friends is a tradition most of us have embraced since childhood. Faced with the reality of an empty place in time, held tradition leaves us with sadness instead of celebration. Love continues after death. Relationships continue after death, but in an altered way. Grief is a normal and natural reaction to loss. It is marked by conflicting emotions that result from the change in a familiar pattern behavior. But from the standpoint of the grieving person, this is how grief may feel. Grief is a feeling of reaching out for someone who has always been there for us, only to find, when we need them one more time, they are no longer there. Adapting to the absence of a loved one is difficult enough. But the first holiday season, with its constant reminders of holiday joy and tradition, can be especially painful. It's normal to worry that you won't be able to handle the pain of this holiday season, whether the missing loved one is a spouse, a parent, a grandparent, a sibling, a child, or a friend. You may even think that you would rather skip this holiday altogether, forget about all the gatherings, the gifts, and all that comes with it. Those feelings are normal, not illogical or irrational. They represent a normal, healthy range of emotions about painful loss and our society's limited ability to talk openly and honestly about grief. So we at Grief Recovery Methods sessions, which Laurie, my co-leader, and myself, we help you guide you through this journey of recovery so that this severe pain of loss is lightened. It teaches and encourages us as grievers to lean into our grief, meeting it with gentle compassion. For grief pours forth from a heart of love. Grief teaches us new ways of loving, connecting, and remembering. It softens expectations, allows us to savor the life's gift of moments, and steeps our souls in gratitude. Recovery from loss is achieved by a series of small and correct choices that we make as grievers. I now invite Laurie to guide and encourage you to take some steps that will help you through this holiday season.
Thank you so much, Trudy. As Trudy's mentioned, the holiday season often is associated with joy and togetherness, can be especially painful time for those navigating the loss of a loved one. As the celebrations unfold around you, your feelings of grief during the holidays can intensify. While there's no easy solution, there are some ways that you can take care of your emotions and gently support yourself through this difficult time. Remember, what works for you may be different than what works for other people who are grieving the same loss. What works for you could also shift and change over time. Here's some suggestions for taking part in the holidays while navigating the emotions that you're experiencing. Number one, feel your feelings. If you can, allow yourself to feel the emotions as they come up. Grief often brings up varied and sometimes conflicting emotions. You may feel utterly sad one moment and full of holiday cheer the next. All of your feelings are valid, and there's a space for all of them. Give yourself permission to feel without judgment. Number 2, take care of yourself. Grief is often a very intense experience. It can affect everything from your sleep to how, what, and when you eat. As much as you can, practice self-care. Some examples of self-care: getting enough sleep, eating some nourishing food, drinking plenty of water, exercise as you have the energy for, and trying to spend a little bit of time outdoors. Number 3 is to prepare. Before plans and expectations sneak up on you, think about what you can and can't do this year. Friends and family may, with the best intentions, make plans for you. They don't understand that the annual tree lighting ceremony that was always a favorite of yours may now cause you to fall completely apart in public, something you would rather avoid. Know that some things will be just too hard. Don't fall into the trap of letting others make these decisions for you. If you have already decided what is best for you, gently decline plans that are too stressful. Number 4, talk with others. Who celebrates these holidays with you? Who is sharing your grief? Talk honestly with these people. Tell them what is making you anxious or concerned, and explain that you may have some sad, emotional moments, but that's just the way it's going to be this year. Listen to their ideas and maybe try and come up with a solution for these touchy issues. Number 5, let others help you. If you've always been the leader of the holidays, it can be difficult to let go, and at the same time, so physically and emotionally exhausting to do everything you've done in the past. Choose the things that you desire to do and feel you're able to do, and then invite others to help with other tasks. Remember that they love you and they want to help. Let someone else bake, clean, or decorate that tree if you're not up to it. Number 6, and Bruce so lovely touched on this so perfectly, honor your loved one. There are so many ways to do this, and they're as individual as your family and the person that you've lost. Light a candle, make their favorite desserts, write memories on strips of papers and put them in his or her Christmas stocking. Use decorations that remind you of your loved one. Buy a gift in their memory and donate it to a favorite charity. Invite everyone around the table to share their favorite memory. It's okay to say their name. Number 7, be honest with yourself. If your family and friends try to change old traditions, such as where the holiday dinner will take place, and that is one tradition that you don't want to be different, let them know that. While they might think this change will be easier on you, if that's not the case, you need to tell them the truth. If you take the lead and are honest about how you feel, it will make it safe for them to be honest as well. There's no right or wrong way to get through the holidays and other special occasions. In whatever way works for you, allow yourself the opportunity to honor and care for yourself and acknowledge that this year will be different. Find a small way to include your loved one, and please be gentle with yourself. Our next Grief Recovery program will be held on January the 14th for an information evening at 7 o'clock in the chapel here. This will be an opportunity for you to learn more, and if interested, allow you to sign up for either our in-person group that Trudy and I do, or an online group that our colleague Brian does. We request that you call Martin Brothers to register for this evening. The Grief Recovery program is designed to provide help after a loss. We acknowledge the sadness of grief, but help you heal the pain that is caused by those parts of the relationships that are maybe unresolved. We guide participants to uncover the things that have not been assisting them to move forward. We explore memories, embracing both the sadness and the joys found in them. Trudy and I will then guide you through a process of identifying and resolving those issues that are causing emotional suffering. We hope you will consider attending this heart healing group with us. From our hearts to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Thought I saw you today. You were standing in the sun, then you turned away. And I knew it couldn't be, but my heart believed. Oh, it seems like there's something every day. How could you be so far away when you're still here? When I need you, you're not hard to find. You're still here. I can see you in my baby's eyes, and I laugh and cry. You're still here. Had a dream last night that you came to me on silver wings at night. I flew away with you on a painted sky, and I woke up wondering what was real. Is it what you see and touch, or what you feel? 'Cause you're still here. Oh, you're everywhere we've ever been. You're still here. I heard you in a stranger's laugh, and I hung around to hear him laugh again, just once again. Thought I saw you today. You were standing in the sun, and you turned away.
I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just show up and bring the news that she's getting older. And I wish that you met her. The things that you learned from me, I got them all from you. Can I just stay a while, and we'll put all the world to rights? The little ones will grow, and I'll still drink your favorite wine. And soon they're going to close, but I'll see you another day. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I haven't a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? 'Cause you always do what's right. And we just talk a while until my worries disappear. I'll tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home. But I know what they'd say, that it's for the best. So I will live life the way you taught me and make it on my own. I will close the door, but I will open up my heart, and everyone I love will know exactly who you are. 'Cause this is not goodbye, it is just till we meet again. So much has changed since you've been away. Early morning, there's a message on my phone. It's my mother saying, darling, please come home. I fear the worst, but how could you leave us all behind? There's so much to say, but there's so little time. So how do I say goodbye? Someone who's been with me for my whole damn life. You gave me my name and the color of your eyes. See your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? When I couldn't, you always saw the best in me. Right or wrong, you were always on my side. But I'm scared of what life without you's like. And I saw the way she looked into your eyes. And I promise if you go, I will make sure she's alright. So how do I say goodbye? Someone who's been with me for my whole damn life. You gave me my name and the color of your eyes. See your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? And there's no way you could ever let me down. Gonna steal some time and start again. You'll always be my closest friend. And someday we're gonna make it out. Just hold the light. Just hold the light high, high. So how do I say goodbye to someone who's been with me for my whole damn life? You gave me my name and the color of your eyes. I see your face when I look at mine. So how do I say goodbye? So how do I say goodbye?
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. me, Jesus, you gotta help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. Well, there's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Whoa, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Thought I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things coming my way this time around now. Thought I'd see you, thought I'd see you far away now.
Good evening. My name is Lisa Shimozawa, and this is Sandy Regier. We've been given the opportunity to have served and helped many of you out here today. I told her I wasn't going to cry, but we'll see.
She's gonna.
We'll see. As this year draws to a close, Sandy and I and the staff and management at Martin Brothers wish to thank you for allowing us to care for your loved ones in your time of need and for sharing this evening with us. We continue to walk with you, whether we see you in person or not. Please know that you remain in our hearts and thoughts always, not just during the holidays. We've gotten to know so many of you and appreciate those connections we've made and look forward to serving you and assisting you in the future if and when the time comes. We realize it isn't easy for you to let us into your families. And we know that you are all walking on your own paths of missing your loved ones and missing your dear departed loved ones. Always know that we take such great pride in calling you our families. You're not our customers, you're not our clients, you're our families. We respect that we will all experience this in every holiday season in your own ways and at your own will. We sincerely wish you a safe, loving, and comforting time spent with loved ones near and far. Thank you so much, and please travel safely as you make your way this evening.
Good job. Thank you. Like Lisa said, she pretty much summed up the way that I feel as well. Like she said, we've had the opportunity to walk that rough path with you, and we appreciate you trusting us to do that. Thank you so much. I would be a fool if I didn't acknowledge the talent that we had here tonight. And I have to say, Mary Lee, Tanner, and Dale, always are so excited to help us with this evening, and they've been doing it for years. So thank you, like so good, amazing. But I also have to thank, from the bottom of my heart, the staff at Martin Brothers. This would not be possible without them. And Lori and Trudy, thank you for running our grief recovery. It's needed by so many people, and we get thank yous and shout outs all the time with the work that you do with the grieving families that we serve. And Trudy and Lori don't just serve the families of Martin Brothers, they serve any grieving family that comes forward. So they're very well appreciated. Thank you so much. And thank you for taking the time during the holiday season to be a part of this evening with us. Bruce, thank you so much for helping us this year. That was a wonderful message. And we wish you a safe and happy holiday. Thank you.
Children sleep.
all.
Is there a box for these? Oh.